What's up, guys? So I am actually going to go meet my friend. Today is December 27th, 2024. We are not going to do a weigh-in this week or next week just because, I'm just super busy, etc. So I have to go meet a friend of mine. Like I said, his name is Mark. And I'm hoping he will allow me to interview him a little bit just because he is the most consistent person I know since I met him. He's the most consistent person I know that goes to the gym, right? And he's also one of the strongest people I know. He's always been a little bit bigger than me. So that's a whole different perspective from me. Hopefully, we can learn something new from him, and maybe he could teach me something. I don't know. Maybe we could teach you guys something. But yeah, it's a different perspective from me on things because we look at fitness a little different. I was always more of the aesthetic person. That's how I approached it. He wanted to be big and strong, so technically speaking, he really prioritized gaining size, which he did really well, and he's been really disciplined. So hopefully, we will talk. All right, see you guys later. All right, guys. So this is my buddy Mark. Say hello.
What's up?
All right. So Mark is, like I told you guys, that he's probably the most consistent person I know in the gym. Right. I've known you for a long fucking time. By the way, you can curse. Just there's certain words we can't say. But yeah, I've known Mark for a long time, and generally speaking, I think I met you in 2013. Sounds about right.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, because and you know what's funny about it? Like the reason why I I kind of remember that is because I generally remember years by who I date. And when I first met Mark, I was actually single, and that was after my depression. Like I went through this depression or shit, whatever, right? So 2013, because from 28 to 2012, I had a girlfriend, and then from 2013 to 2014, that's when I was single. So that's when I met Mark. Anyways, Mark is the most consistent person I know that goes to the gym because you never ever fucking quit, right?
I try not to.
Yeah, Mark has never ever like unlike me because you seen me fat, fit, in between, skinny, muscular, everything, right? Yeah. So, all right. So I guess my question, I want to ask him some questions, right? Like, because I've taught you guys how to get fit from my perspective, and I want it from someone else who, because our approach in the gym are way different, right? Because generally, what are your like goals in the gym?
Well, obviously it changes throughout your years, right? When I first started lifting, it was to get as big as possible. That's always the goal, but as you get older, I feel like getting fit and being more lean while trying to maintain as much size as possible is the goal because yeah, it's cool to be, super big, but if you're super fat too, you look like an idiot. So, you don't want to, yeah, you might have, 20-inch arms, but you got a 50-inch waist. So that's not optimal. So I think there's a balance between, living your life, not completely screwing yourself over and being completely strict with everything you eat and or don't eat and, doing hours and hours of cardio because, yeah, that'll work, but it's not sustainable. And if you want to keep doing this for years, then you got to do something that's enjoyable. So, finding a balance between working out hard and treating yourself every now and again, I think is the best scenario for long-term success.
Okay, sounds about right. That's basically what I told you guys that like. So my approach was because Mark known me the longest, right? So you seen me from being really aesthetic to fat, whatever, right? Would you think that when you first met me, I was kind of because we used to live together, by the way, as well. Would you think my approach to fitness was kind of like over exaggerated, like too much? There's too much of this and that, or what are your thoughts?
I think when you were super, super lean, then yeah, and case in point, you could see yourself it's just not sustainable.
Yeah.
Doing those crazy diets where you don't drink water for days on end, or or only drink water. I mean, I've done like the 3-day fasts and stuff like that, which yeah, you'll drop 5, 6, 7 pounds, maybe even more. 3 days of doing a fast, but for what? You're going to lose water weight. You might lose a little bit of fat, but you can't go without food. So when you start eating again, it comes right back. So unless you plan on stepping on stage or competing and need to do a drastic transformation, I just don't think those kind of diets or workout plans are sustainable. And, I think you did it just
Just to see.
to see if you could and to see if it would work. And yeah, it did. You got super lean, but you said yourself you were miserable as shit.
Yep, tired, weak.
So I don't think that's an approach, especially if people are starting to lift. If you first start lifting, do everything under the sun. Do every workout you can. Eat whatever you want to see how your body adjusts, and then go from there. Because if you don't know how your body reacts to, you might be one of those people that can eat, cheeseburgers and French fries and chicken nuggets and still stay lean and gain muscle. So you got to learn your body in that way too.
I'm glad he said learn your body because like my body is different from his, right? Like I know I cannot go carb less, right? So I've always told you guys that like at the end of the day, you got to do some shit that you can do all the time, right? Like for me, like what he was mentioning was I tried a diet to could see how lean I can get, and it was one of those diets that like UFC fighters do to lose weight, right? That is an extreme. Never fucking do it. It's not like bodybuilders do that right before they go on the show.
Yeah, they will do that.
Yeah. So that's kind of basically what I taught you guys. Like you got to find, you got to know your body specifically because you can't have a cookie cutter approach to it. So like there's certain things I can eat that he doesn't. I can eat chicken rice all day long. You can't fucking do that, right?
No,
Yeah.
well, I mean I could, but I would
Yeah.
get so
Miserable.
sick of it that I wouldn't keep it up.
Like I can't do tuna. Like that's something I can't do. But yeah. Okay, so I guess my other question is basically, would you agree with me that fitness is easy as fuck as long as you, because the learning curve is super easy, but after you learn it, it's really just show the fuck up and do the work, right?
That's it, 100%. I mean, when you first start working out, I remember when I first started, and maybe when you did too, I would literally YouTube everything. I would YouTube, bicep workouts and find Arnold Schwarzenegger or other, I'm sure younger people have the fitness influencers, Chris Bumstead, whatever, and just take their workouts and try them and do that for weeks on end for different body parts, find out which workouts feel best for you, and then implement that into your training program. And yeah, once you know how to do everything and you're experienced enough, you might go into the gym and say, I'm doing chest today. Well, you do a set of bench press and you say, that doesn't feel good. I don't like, my shoulders bother me. So you pick from the other 50 workouts that you know for your chest. It doesn't need to be just because you have it written on a piece of paper that I'm doing 3 sets of 10 of bench means that you have to do that. I mean, there's 1,000 different ways to target your muscles. Certain things like pullovers. People say it works your back. People say it works your chest. I hate them.
Me too.
I can't do them at all.
Either
They suck.
Lat pull down. I don't know, lat pullovers or chest pullovers. I hate them both.
Yeah, I don't feel them at all. My elbows are shit, so I can't do dips. People say that's great for triceps and for lower chest based on your body position. I don't like them. I don't do them.
Yeah, me neither.
So, but you got to figure that out. Arnold Schwarzenegger loved dips. He did them all the time.
Presses. I hate that shit.
Arnold presses too. I don't like them either. They kill my shoulders. So figuring out what workouts work best for you, work best for your body, and also looking at your body and seeing, what's lacking. I know 90% of lifters, when they first start, they do shoulder press, shoulder press, shoulder press, shoulder press.
Mm-hmm.
So you see these people walking around with huge front delts and they got no laterals and they got no rears, and you look lopsided. So if there was a time for years on end where I did not do anything for my front delts because I felt I had enough stimulation from doing chest and a little bit of bicep workout will hit your front delts, that I felt I didn't need to because my front delts and my traps naturally grow pretty fast. So even to this day, I start out my chest or my shoulder workouts, heavy lateral raises, maybe 5 sets. I'll do 10 sets of laterals, probably maybe 3 or 4 of front raises, or maybe shoulder press, and then a bunch of rears, because that's what most people are lacking. So that's things you have to figure out about yourself too, where your deficiencies are and where your strengths are.
Okay, so like, I'm the same way, right? I'm definitely front deltoid, lopsided, like, and yeah, and my rear delt. So now the way I work out, I start with rear delts. Like I terrorize that shit before I even touch front. I barely do dumbbell shoulder presses, etc. Just because I think that, like what he just said, like it's always being attacked in many forms. So okay, so I guess mentioned this before. I know you're one of the biggest dudes I know, one of the most strongest as well. But I think what I've always been proud of you is the fact that you were so disciplined, never ever quit. And you seen me make multiple transformations, right? And that means you're definitely more disciplined than me. So that's what I always felt like you were really good at. That was your superpower in my sense in the gym, right? Out of all my friends, every single one, because every one of those bitches quit. Every one of those bitches had quit. When I quit, these bitches quit too, but he didn't. Can you, I don't know, maybe I'm fishing for a compliment here, but can you tell me or tell them what is something that I'm good at the gym, right? Which probably not a lot, but something you would say you admire or something?
Well, for sure. I mean, when we worked out together, you always pushed me, and I know you were, even if you went through your ebbs and flows, ups and downs, you always, when you did commit to it, that was the only thing your mind was on. But when we were living together, cooking tons of rice, tons of chicken, meal prepping, being tired even after going to class, going to the gym. I mean, when you were in 110%. And I feel like it's that. I mean, you've said it to me before. Whatever. It's not always just lifting, but other things that you set your mind to that took precedence over that. But whatever it was, you did it 110%. Whether it was trying to make money or whether it was trying to learn a business or, you were 100% focused. I don't think you could multitask on different things because you felt like if something was important enough to you to focus your interest, then you were going to give it everything you had. So, and that's why I think you got back into shape so fast.
It was borderline obsessive in a sense, right?
Yeah, and I think that's how you get with most things. So it's just a matter of where your focus is.
Because I'm the same way with like dating. Like I'm with a girl, like I'm 100% with that person, right? As long as I like that person. And yeah, I appreciate that. And I do want to add more things to why. So Mark is one of my brothers, man. I love him more than anything. And that one thing I do love about him, as a lot of my other friends over them, is that he doesn't compete with me at all. Like he's the type of person that, this about me, that like, this is kind of off fitness, but like, I'll give you an example. Did you know that I actually, like one of his ex-girlfriends, right? I've actually known Jenny before you, and that I've always thought she was a pretty person, right? A girl, like a pretty girl. Yeah. But once as Mark dated her, she was off limit for life for me, right? Like I never looked at it the same way. Now that you guys broken up, when she saw me, she said hi. I don't fucking say hi back. I don't say hi back because like to me, like he doesn't compete with me at all, and he like respect. We have other friends. We're not gonna name their names or anything, but like they used to compete with us, right? Like you know who I'm talking about. Yeah. Like they were like, eventually I'm gonna look better than you and stuff like that. Like me and Mark never ever felt that way like, with one another. I've never felt like I want to be stronger than him, bigger than him, or any of that. We push each other, and we kind of proud of like when they do things, right? So I've always appreciated that about you. Like there's no point to compete. You're the only person you should compete with is yourself, And sure. Unfortunately, we have some, I guess you could call them strangers now because we're not really friends, that used to always like try to compete with us. Whether it's fitness, money, women, it doesn't matter. Like, and me and him never ever had that competition. Would you agree?
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
All right, man. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you, and we're out of here. Thanks for dropping knowledge to these folks, and hopefully, at least one person changed their life. Right?
All right, hit hard.
Take care, bye.
See ya.